That is working. If you're watching on TikTok, hopefully you can hear us fine. Let us know. We are going live on YouTube now. Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. We are live. I know we don't normally go live at 4:30 on a Monday. Obviously, it's a big match tonight. I've got little Reedy here. He looks tiny, little Reedy, but it's just how we're standing. Got Sam as well. Get your views in, get your comments in. I guess we'll start with you, Reedy. How are you feeling for today's match?
Nervous, worried, but excited as well because. Again, it's not impossible we can win tonight. I think there is a chance we can win. We've beat them the last 2 times at the KB, so there's always hope. Again, just make sure we've got the right team out, put the right tactics there, and I think we can do it. And I think there is a hope we can get a win tonight.
Get your views in, get your comments in. Imtiaz, good to see you tonight. You're going down there tonight, Imtiaz. Hope you do well tonight. Jordan says we're getting turned over tonight. Jordan's obviously a Liverpool fan there with that comment, or just a very pessimistic Leicester fan, Sam. What do you reckon?
Again, it's in our hands to get out the relegation tonight. Where if we win, we get out of it. We go 17th. We can't go ahead of Forest, obviously, because they drew to Chelsea. But we can get out of we can get out of that little relegation spot. But we have to win tonight. A draw just isn't good enough. A draw will put us on 31 points, and we'll still be in the bottom 3. It's just a must-win game with 3 games to go. We're probably not going to get anything at Newcastle. I don't see us really getting anything tonight, if looking at the team and what Dean Smith's come out and said today. But, we have to win. If we don't win today, we're as good as down.
Simon's watching on Facebook. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and TikTok tonight. Simon says, wouldn't be shocked if we lose by 5 or 6 tonight. This team has no fight or no passion whatsoever. Big 1-0 win, says Roger the Cartman. He's being a bit more positive out there on YouTube. Let us know, what do you think the score's going to be tonight? Can we do it tonight? Reedy, let's start with that Dean Smith comments that we've shared it all over socials, where he's effectively saying, it would be an achievement, I think were his words, if Leicester were to survive with this crop of players. Is he just doing reverse psychology there to try and get them revved up for tonight?
I think it was like the Maddison situation where he kind of said something and then he didn't mean it as intended, if you know what I mean. So I don't think it's reverse psychology. I just think that he just said it out of the blue and just didn't mean to say it as he did, I guess. I think people are going to say it differently. I honestly just thought when he said it, he kind of just said it without thinking, really. So,
what do you reckon, Sam?
I have to disagree a little bit. The stuff that Maddison said, he knew what he was saying. He comes out on social media because he gets blasted for what he said about there's no fight in a team that, needs to have a fight at the bare minimum in the relegation scrap. He knew that what he said was a mess up. You're just on the spot heat at the moment. Maybe he didn't mean it, but he said it. Same with Dean Smith. He said it. Maybe he doesn't mean it, but that's what he's come out and said.
It's a strange thing he's come out and said today.
There's not much confidence between anyone at the moment anyway, but, a way to shoot someone when they're down, as it is anyway, by saying that kind of thing where this team's not good. We know it's not good enough, but
is he trying to G the players up?
No,
to show him that it's different.
If you G, that's not how you G the players up, by saying you're shit. I don't understand that.
Yeah, indeed. If you're watching on TikTok, get your views in, get your comments in. Let us know what you think about today's match. Ian says 2-1 to with Vardy to score the first goal in there. LCFC Gray says, please don't bottle it, Foxes. I think for me tonight, that's what it's all about. Is I've been waiting most of the season, certainly since Christmas, to see the real Leicester kick in. We thought we might have seen it against Spurs and Villa in those 2 wins. But really tonight, the real Leicester has to sort of turn up, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, we just need any sort of Leicester to turn up really and just make sure we don't lose the game. I think that as much as we do need the win, I think as long as you don't lose is a start, and it's good enough to play against someone like Liverpool. The 6 games winning streak, you can't expect us to go out and just absolutely batter them, but as long as you don't lose and get your goal difference again slaughtered, then for me it's a start. Again, it would be nice to get a brilliant win and get even a clean sheet, but I just can't see it. But again, you just need to have it from the start and hopefully just don't get to see like 6.
TJ says here, TJ Chapman says, Sam, I think we've finally run out of miracles, unfortunately. I think we'll lose 3-1 tonight. Hope I'm wrong, though. A lot of fans are quite pessimistic.
You have to be. Liverpool, a team that have really says they've not just gone unbeaten in 6 games, they've won 6 games in a row. A team like Leicester, they're going to come to the King Power and they're going to think we can steamroll these. There's no 2 questions about it, really. We have to win. A draw isn't good enough tonight. As much as you say, we drew to Liverpool on good form, any other situation, that's a good result. But today, it has to be a win. Because like I said, a draw keeps us down. Forest are picking up points. Everton look like they have a bit of fight. They lost 3-0 to Man City, but they look like they had something in them against them. So realistically, I think even if we get 6 points, say, minimum, that might not even be enough to keep us up this year because, again, the teams around us have passion and fight, and that's something we don't have. It's something we've not had this whole season. And again, you can nitpick from the top to the bottom of why it's gone wrong, but there's just so many negative things as to why it has gone wrong.
Intel says here, Reedy, I hope we play Daka and Vardy in a duo up front tonight. You're shaking your head, Sam.
I'd have 2 up front. I won't have Daka. He's a bag of spanners.
You've got to know
you're
which
going to play 2
I'd
up
have
front. You've got
Barnes
no
up front. I guess he's a goal scorer. He's scoring goals.
If you're playing strikers, you play 2 up front, you play 2 strikers. I don't think
We've not played 2 players in positions all season, so I don't see why not change it up tonight.
It's a shame Inacho's not back. It would give you that 2 up top. Daka and Vardy is I don't know. It shows
again if you want to go all out, you've got to put. For me, you've got to put all 4 of them. You've got to put Daka and Vardy, and then you've got Tete as well, Tete and Barnes as well, or even Maddison. Again, as much as I don't want to get completely wiped out by just going all out attack, you've got to score goals and you've got to make sure we get stuck in the game. So,
well, Imran says here we need to be nasty today. Mm-hmm. Players need to show they care. Put in a few crunching tackles, Sam.
I wonder why that's why GBO wants to be in there.
There's been too much tippy tap around, hasn't there?
Yeah, I would say we do need to be more aggressive on the front foot. But again, there's a difference between being aggressive and being stupid because we can put in, better tackles, maybe a bit more aggression into the tackles. But I just don't want to see we lose the ball and someone like Samari or Christensen just props a leg over and gives them a free kick on the edge of the box. Because let's be honest, Salah's going to hit it on target at least. Or even Trent, they've got amazing free kick takers that they're going to put it on target at least. So, again, our biggest problem with that is we just need to not give away too many free kicks because we're not sound in defence. John Terry's come in. Again, we're still conceding a lot of goals. We're always the first team to concede, regardless of the result. Every result we've played in the past since Dean Smith's come in, we're the first to concede. So it's a tough one, really, where, again, it's Liverpool. Let's be honest. Liverpool on great form. What we get out of it tonight is really just what we get out of it. There's no much.
It depends how the team perform.
Jordan says here, massive atmosphere needed tonight.
It always
from the
has
Leicester fans. I know we ask for it all the time, but
it has been a good atmosphere the past few weeks since Dean Smith's come in. It's been pretty electric, better. But again, us being loud for 90 minutes doesn't seem to have an impact on the players because they're still putting in below average performances.
The problem is that for me, as much as you can give all we can in the atmosphere, what starts it is the players. The players start the atmosphere by putting the tackles in, getting the good runs on the goal, and just trying our best. Again, once you get a few shots on goal, and you can see there's something there for us, that's when we get hyped up. But if you concede a goal in the first 10 minutes, the atmosphere just dies.
I mean, talking of the atmosphere, I think a lot of people know that we haven't organised it. There's a group of fans have organised a march down from Nelson Mandela Park at 7:20. It's going to leave there. So if you fancy joining that, I think we're going to try and make a way there. We're going down to Peter's Pizzas first. So if you fancy a pizza, come and join us down there. We'll be live from there. So once we finish filling our faces, Sam, we're going to see if we can join this march. I don't know if that's going to really help the atmosphere or not, but it's worth a try.
Like I said, the atmosphere's been, I'd say, good the past few games. I think everyone's been up for it. Even when we're losing, it's still a good crowd, still singing, trying to get behind the lads. But it's not our position to determine the outcome. It never really. I guess it can affect how teams play, but realistically, if your crowd's the reason you need to put a shift in, I think it's a bit pathetic maybe, because the players should be doing it for the money that they're on anyway, and the fact that they're wearing the Leicester shirt in the Premier League, they should just do it for that fact and not really be fussed about what the fans are doing.
Right, just bear with me. I'm going to get a few fans' comments in here. MTS says probably the biggest game in our history. Don't agree with that, MTS, but it is a big game. A win, we stay up, and a loss or draw, we go down. Karen says, I lost hope a while ago. I feel a battering tonight. I think, Karen, most of us are worried that could happen. So hope you're wrong as well in there. Daka, Mayors play with 10 up top, says Casey. I'm sort of with you, but at some point, I hope Daka scores a vital goal. LCFC Gray says, the problem is I don't think this team is geared up for the challenge to stay up, unfortunately. Ryan's a West Ham fan. He says, but if you don't win today, I think you're down. I think if we have a draw, we're still in it, but I think a win
If
really has to go up there.
We have to go and beat Newcastle then.
Or Newcastle,
No, not
or West Ham.
necessarily.
Newcastle or West Ham.
It depends on what the results
Yeah, it does.
does. If we win tonight, it's in our hands, because if we win all the game, if we draw tonight, you could look back on a draw tonight at the end of the season and go, that draw against Liverpool actually was
Maybe
the
so,
bonus
but
point that got us up. But
like I said,
Again,
we have to have bare minimum 3 points.
If you take a draw against Liverpool and you do beat one of Newcastle or West Ham and it does keep you up, then you would be happy with the draw, like you say. You would be happy that you got a draw against Liverpool. But we don't know how it will end if we do draw, and then depending on what results go on, right? But yeah.
Tony asks here, if Soumare gets picked out of Mendy again, we're done for. Now, I'm going to start with you, Sam. Your honest opinion of Ndidi, Mendy, Soumare, who, what, why?
Soumare had a couple of good games. I'd say Wolves, Everton, Leeds, I think he was, I'd say he wasn't a bad player in those games. So he was average, maybe 6 or 7 out of 10, pretty okay games. But last game against Fulham, he crumbled. He gave away the second goal. And that was Fulham, who were in first gear for the whole game. So against Liverpool tonight, if anything happens, you just know it's a guaranteed goal. If we make one mistake against Liverpool, they're going to score. Mendy, player out of contract in 3 games' time. By far our best defensive midfielder, by the way. The player that should be on that starting 11 week in, week out. We've seen it time and time again this season, last season, season before that, where he doesn't get picked. A bit like Mark Albrighton, he doesn't get picked, but Albrighton does a good shift. Bit same with Mendy, he plays a good game, but he doesn't get in the team. And Didi, injury prone, I'd say, he's not recovered back from his injury. He's got no confidence. Again, we're against a very attacking Liverpool team that I just think we need a bit of comfortability in the back line. And if we're going to play defensive midfield, I'd play someone who knows how to tackle the ball well and is comfortable holding the ball a little bit better.
Go on then, really, while we're talking about just a couple of comments here. Ethan says Soumare versus Everton wasn't great in there. Ethan then goes on to say he needs to be dropped. I know, really, you've been backing Soumare a lot this season, which is fine. Would you, I guess the question is just simply, would you play Soumare and Mendy or Ndidi tonight?
I won't play Soumare tonight. I still think he's one of our, I wouldn't say better players, but he's a good squad player for me. And like I say, the last few games he's been all right. Again, Fulham wasn't the greatest to get, which was just hard to see because before that he was playing okay. But like I say, Mendy has to be the first name on the team sheet. Again, I always say there's obviously reasons why the managers or the coaches pick the players to start. If it's because of height or a certain style of play, to combat what you're playing against and the opponents. That's probably why Soumare has been in the last few games. But when the likes of Ndidi come on as a substitute instead of Mendy, that's when you start questioning what are we doing, because we know that Ndidi last couple of months or even up to a year's worth of performances haven't been to the standard we know he is. So even if Mendy doesn't start, he has to be one that does come on. But again, I'm going to say he does have to start tonight. He has to.
Yeah, Duns says here, Mendy to start tonight. Midfield is costing us by being too passive in recent matches. Our defence has to do too much in matches. This can't happen tonight in there. Tony says we need marchers on the pitch, not off it. We had pedestrians up Fulham in there. David's a Villa fan, says here, I hope you guys find a way to stay up. League won't be the same without you. Thanks, David. That's very kind of you, a Villa fan. Rebecca says, hopefully Christensen won't start. He has been shocking the last few games in there, which we've got there. Paul says, I hope we're wrong, but I think the players are thinking about their holidays and where they're off to next season. I think we're already down in there. Dan's says here, by the way, Phil, last week on the Monday show, I was saying if I was Leicester City, I would allow a couple of fans into the dressing room before the match today. I know Arsenal did it, I think, before, and a couple of others, but Dan says here that, did you see that the AC Milan team got put in front of the fans at the stadium, as you were suggesting, should happen with our fans there?
If you mean by the game when they played in Champions League, then it didn't do much, did it? They got slaughtered.
They lost to 18th place in Serie A, and they got put in front of their ultra fans to get talking to about what's going on wrong, obviously, because they've got the second leg against Inter Milan. So obviously they're getting talks from the people that the club means the most to. You know, there's people top to bottom, like you said, people that work there. A lot of people at the club, it's their job to be there, whereas not everyone enjoys being at the job, but we go there because it's entertainment. We love the club. It's a lot of people's lives, so it would just be nice to see some players put in a bit of passion as to wearing the badge, because this whole season, from start to finish, from the top, like I said, to the bottom, with no investment in the summer, running out of money because we're spending ridiculous amounts on a new training ground, which was unnecessary, and it pulls the players out of reality. Whereas the old training ground, you had to go through terrace houses and see the fans outside. You can't, none of that now. It's all PC, and I think it's just easy life at Leicester. You get a high wage, you get a nice training facility, you can do whatever you want. It's like a holiday to be at Leicester, and you play a football match once a week. If you lose, you're still getting 80 grand. If you win, you get your 80 grand either way.
So we did a poll on Twitter just about an hour ago, and the big question, which I want to ask everybody who's watching, what you think to it, and I'll ask Reedy and then Sam. The big question we put was, would you drop Yuri Tielemans for tonight's match? Now, 44% of Leicester fans who voted say drop him. 55%, 56% say play Yuri. Where are you, Reedy, on Yuri Tielemans today?
Drop him. I've tried to back him as much as I can recently and said that we need the quality, but now it's just got to the point where we don't need quality. We just need to be people who want to fight for the club. Obviously, he's going to be gone in 3 games. Maddison, as much as he's gone in 3 games, that you can't drop Maddison as much as I want to say you do, because you want people who are fighting like Pratt and that lot. But again, at this point, you need to have the most players who want to fight. Mendy, Dewsbury, all these players, even Christensen. You said that someone said that he didn't want to start. For me, he has to. As much as you might be a bit of a hothead in the tackles, he's against Salah tonight. I don't trust either Castagna or Lou Thomas against Salah. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Sam, Yuri, drop him, play him.
We've obviously did our tactics talk last week. I did drop him in my team again. I think a bit like we've all been saying, when people say he is the best player to put in the position, I think you have to look at it logistically. We're playing him as captain when he's going in 3 games. He's put in no effort in the past at all. We've all seen it. He doesn't want to put a foot in for a tackle because if he breaks his leg tonight, he's right up the swine. So he's never going to put in a big tackle.
Well, he got injured a few months ago, didn't he? And he was out for quite a few games. And that's when you said that no one's going to buy him if he gets injured. So,
well, that's right. So
he's saving himself because, again, as much as he runs around patting the shirt and doing all, you see him do it all the time. He doesn't care about.
But I wouldn't blame him tonight. I don't blame him. He's got 3 or 4 matches.
But yeah,
the thing is,
don't play him.
Yeah, don't play him.
The thing is, if
he's got no contract.
If he does want to be in the side, he keeps saying, I want to play. If he shows how we know he can do, then yes, fair play, coming to the side.
But he's never going.
When there's a
50-50 ball,
he's never going 100%.
He won't go for it.
Will Yuri Tielemans tonight, if there's a 50-50 challenge, really go for it?
No.
No, he won't. Someone like Dewsbury or someone like Mendy.
So that's the next question. I guess the next question is then, and we put, again, this was another Twitter poll that was out there, is who should be made captain tonight?
Yeah.
Which the poll shows by vast majority, Jamie Vardy. is the fans' choice to be captain tonight, which sort of rolls on from the Yuri Telemans one. But before we get onto the body captain thing, Sam, would you, if you're dropping Yuri, are you putting Kin and Dewsbury Hall in?
Yeah. For my, again, on the tactics talk, it's a few days ago now, so I'm looking back at it. I think I've put Pratt and Dewsbury Hall as the central midfielders because, again, I just see them doing something a bit more. It's like Reedy says, you need people out there that want to play. Even I'd go as far as Maddison. I've put him in my team because he's the only attacking midfielder we've got, but he feels like he brings down the whole energy of the team every time. When he gets tackled, he's flailing his arms about, and we make him captain for doing stuff like that. It's not captain material. If that's the standard of players that they've got to look up to, it's a bit pathetic again because it's not really what we should be looking for in the team. Same with Tielemans. If our captain that goes out onto the pitch is half-assed in the tackles, doesn't want to get injured, he's not here for the club. What does that send to the other 10 players on the pitch? Because the majority of them are probably going to be off in the summer because I don't see a lot of them sticking around if we're in the Championship. And I just think players like Pratt and Dewsbury, they're going to leave it out on the pitch because Dewsbury's a fan. Pratt, he's not played much game time, so he's going to want to play football at the very least. Whereas someone like Tielemans, it's easy street for him. He walks into the team when he shouldn't be at the moment. And again, when you make him captain, he thinks, bloody hell, I'm a good player.
You see, somebody says here, it could be the same for Barnes Madison's regarding putting a foot in. But the difference is they've got contracts for next season, you see. Madison and Barnes can still play at full pelt tonight. They've got contracts. I agree. Yuri Telemans, even people like Mendy, Kaglar Soyuncu, there's a lot of players out there.
He's 100% going to another club.
Yeah,
And he's still putting everything out.
Well, he seems to be, but,
Or is that just because he's in on this trying? And we can just see how much better he is.
Yeah, well, that's the trouble. Ben says here, stick Reedy in over Tielemans or KDH, both poor.
What I was going to say.
Yeah, you don't want to put Reedy in there. God, you might as well play with 10 men, honestly. You've not seen him play.
Reedy's not seeing himself.
Threatened to revoke their wages and they'll try absolute hardest, greedy players. Dan says, I'm also curious to know if Evans is likely to be involved at all tonight. Do we know what's the latest with
He's fit, but I won't get him anywhere near that side.
No, his injury record is beyond a joke this season.
He was meant to be back fit a month ago. So
yeah.
He is back fit, but I would not play him. I'm sorry, he's not good enough.
Not when Soyuncu's back in the team, especially.
Ross says, just wish Hamza was included in the 25-man squad. That guy shows passion.
At the very least, some players, you look around, so even clubs like Arsenal, someone like Saka, he might be a good player, but he grew up from the Arsenal academy and he wants to play for Arsenal. And you see that happen across the country for teams in Championship, League 1, League 2. They want to be there for reasons that they support the club and they're happy to be there. I could probably name 3 players that are happy to be at Leicester and want to be at the club to wear the badge and not just for the paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, he's not here, but he's still a Leicester player. I'd have rather had Mark Brighton in the starting 11 tonight because he puts 100% in. So
I was going to say, if you had Mark Brighton and Perez, I'll come in. If you had Mark Brighton and Perez still at the club, do you reckon they'd play tonight? Because I think they would. Oh, do you want me to come in for the TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mark Brighton and Perez, if they were here now, I think they'd show a bit more passion than some of the players we've got at the moment. I mean, we've seen Tete come on; he's done all right at times, but since the Villa game, he's not done much. And I'd much rather see. I know Mark Brighton's been here for years, and I know that he'll want this like Jamie Vardy does. He'll want
also to go down. Vice captain, and we send him out on loan.
Yeah, and Perez, although he got a bit slated towards before he left, he still put in a handful of decent performances, and I think we have to blame the board a bit, but for the decision making. I mean, everyone was talking about how we're weak on the wings, and then we brought Tete in, but then got rid of Marco Brighton and Perez. It didn't make much sense. No. But
David said here, not Perez. He's more lightweight than Tete. But I've got to be fair. I'd rather have Perez or Marco Brighton than Tete.
I'd have both. I'd rather have both.
Perez was not lightweight. He could come back in.
That's my cameo.
Perez held his, the ball up well. He's
one of the more technical players. Perez was.
I've not seen anything from Tete since he scored a goal at Villa.
I don't think there'll be many people agree with you, David. But if you agree with David, let us know. It's hypothetical because Perez we've let go out on loan, Marco Brighton. So I think it's a strange one. I hope Yuri starts, says Michael. Michael's doing the watch along tonight for us. He says, I hope Yuri starts and hits a banger in for Sam.
If he does that,
we all hope that,
yeah,
Michael.
I'll happily accept.
Thing is, we all know he can do it. We all know he can do it. He needs to show up.
He needs to do it.
I'm not
Michael.
saying he can't do it. I'm saying
he never gives 100%. He never gives 100%. If he gives 100%, then fair play.
He's not lost his touch to do that. He can't be bothered to do it.
He just tries to do every single game now.
This is the trouble in there. Lee, good evening, Lee, says Yuri doesn't matter though. His contract's up. Maddison Barnes will kill us wages wise if they were to get injured and stay whilst in the championship. Question is, are these not fighting for that reason? Lee, I don't know. And at the end of the season, we will be obviously debating everything depending on where we are. Roan Rant says Tete been lazy lately. Oh, he says so's the whole squad in there. Smith's already said this is Chris Wall says Smith said he's going to play Tillemans tonight.
He was never going to drop Tillemans.
No, I agree. This is just fans.
Again, you'll see it on the pitch. We watch it on telly or at the game. It's hard to come across if you're listening to it on radio, but if you manage to watch the game, you can just see how empathetic he isn't on the pitch. He's just running around, not really doing anything. He would just sit there, have the captain's armband on. I don't see him run his mouth at all for saying he's a captain either, so I don't understand the point of it.
Albrighton played with us with heat and passion and baffled how you leave Vardy supply link in Albrighton out over Tete. John says, why are we talking about players not here? I guess, John, we're talking about some of this because it's all part of what the hell has happened this season. Mm-hmm. Letting some players go, getting some players in. John, to be fair, Tete's not worked out. Suter really not worked out as it stands at the moment. Victor Christensen, perhaps not worked out really yet. I don't think you could say that in there. Ross says, you look the double of Ken and Dewsbury Hall, Jake.
Just with more hair.
Get it back on screen, he says. Jamie from the Fox's Arm says that we adopted Reedy now. No, we're just... Jamie, get some work done at the Fox's Arms. Pull a pint. Come on, don't leave it all to missus. We're on the way to the match. We're just getting ready. Matthew says Albrighton is in the 25-man squad and the championship season is over for West Brom, so couldn't he technically play? I've no ideas on that.
How is he in the 25-man squad? He's not here.
I don't know if he is in the 25-man squad or not. Tillemans is terrible, says Chief Brody. Michael says, thanks, bro. He's having personal chats in there. It makes you glad Tete was a loan deal, says Ross.
Brilliant. Yeah, glad. We should have bought Lutman.
We should have bought Lutman, but again, that's part of the debate. Jamie from the Fox's Arm says he is at work. Watching your phone though, mate.
Part-timer.
Come on. Join the video, Jamie, from the Foxes. I'll put the link out there for you, Jamie. Let's see if Jamie from the Fox's Arm has got time. Come on, there you go. Chris says, Reedy, you look nervous. Are you nervous, Reedy?
I am, but I'm not excited because I think we can win it tonight. It's just we just need to make sure we do the work.
Are you nervous or are you excited? Or
I'm nothing.
I'm nothing.
I have no emotions towards the
I'm dead.
Yeah,
well,
dead from the neck down.
I'm accepting whatever happens. If we win, great. But I'm not going in there thinking, we need to win, so it's going to be a win. I'm not going in there thinking it's Liverpool, so they're going to smash us again. I'm going to come out. I'm just looking at it realistically based on our season and Liverpool's form. It should be a Liverpool winner by quite a landslide, but there's no emotions toward it because tonight was not the night that we needed to get the points. I know we have to now, but we should have been against Everton, should have been against Leeds, shouldn't have got smashed 5-3 to Fulham in first gear, and so on and so forth. There's many games where we give Southampton 6 points this season, and they've got 27? I don't even know how many they're on, but we've literally given them over 20% of their points this season. So it's doomed for failure this season. And if we stay up, I'd say we're very lucky because we deserve to go down. Even with 3 games left, we are a team that looks like we should be down already.
Keith says we've been too passive and not bothered, he means, against teams we should have beaten. There's a lot of those we could go through, Bournemouth included. Would you rather have relegation and a full reset or stay up and keep most of the dross, says Tony. Tony, let's just stay up. That would be the main thing.
We don't keep them either way. They go anyway.
Mr. Busy at the Fox's Arms is joining us. Hey up, Jamie.
How are you, pal? How are you, lads? Reedy, have you just moved in? You know, adopted dad now.
Reed is part of the family now. Jamie, obviously,
Yes,
how
pal.
are you feeling? You're gonna have the match on at the bar tonight. I expect you're hoping for a few Leicester fans in and a good atmosphere, and maybe.
Well, I can't see. Hopefully, there's a few Leicester fans in the atmosphere. I'm not sure what it's going to be like at all. To be honest, it's one of them. It's shit or bust time, isn't it? Really, it really is. It has to be at the minute. I'm hoping for a win, but I just can't see it at the minute. I really can't. Liverpool doing well, 6 on the bounce. Like I said to Reedy yesterday, they're playing well. We've just got to hope and pray we pull something out of the bag.
Have you lost the faith a little bit, Jamie?
Well, I've been losing the faith for a while. You know me, Phil. About the last year, 18 months to a year, I've been losing the faith, pal. I thought it was the right decision to get rid of Brendan, but maybe he should have done earlier. It's probably a bit late in the day to do it, but we'll have to wait and see. I hope Dean Smith is the man to do it, but after them comments I heard today, then I don't know. I'm not too sure.
Well, go on then. If you were allowed in the changing room for a minute before kickoff to speak to the players, Jamie, what would you try and say to them to G them up?
Well, I couldn't really say it really because it'd be a bit like Mike Bassett. There'd be a bit of an industrial language in there. They need G'ing up. They need to show the fight and the passion and give it to the fans that have paid all that money to go and watch them over the last 9-10 years that have followed them on this journey that could be going backwards instead of going forwards how we wanted to. They need to be. You would have thought someone like Keenan Dewsbury Hall would have been able to go in there. He's a Leicester lad. Harvey Barnes, he's a Leicester lad. You would have thought they'd have been able to do it quite easily. So then other players that are not from Leicester know how it feels to be a Leicester fan and how it feels to be in this situation. But yeah, I couldn't say what I want to say because I don't think I'd be allowed to say it, pal. Not at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, anyway.
Before we let you go, Jamie, are you going to have any sort of score prediction?
A win.
No.
Win.
Just win. Win in
Just
any
win.
shape or form.
Just win at any shape or form, any cost. Say again.
Do you think we can win?
I hope we can win. I'm not sure, Phil. I really don't know. I really don't know. I want us to win. I hope we win. We should be able to win. We've got the players to do it. We just, I don't know. Just need a bit of fight, a bit of passion, a bit of spirit, which we haven't been showing. Look at Forest and Everton and Leeds. They're showing it. We're going down with a win pot.
It is time for us to show up, isn't it? Jamie, listen, if anybody's in Alcudia or Mallorca tonight, where's the place to come and watch it?
He's coming to watch it at the Fox's Arms, pal. Look at behind me. That's how Leicester I am. All them shirts there. 4 big TVs to watch it on inside and out. It's about time you lot got your arses over here to do a bit of content as well. You keep talking about it, but if you're in Alcudia or anywhere near, come and watch us. Come and watch the game with us. You'll enjoy it. You might see a grown man cry either with happiness or sadness.
Plymouth v Leicester, September the 17th. Let's hope it's not that. We'll be over. We'll see you later, Jamie.
Right, lads and lasses. Speak to you later. Be good. See you, Reader. Enjoy your new house.
Listen, we're going to go very shortly. Ross has joined us as well. Let's let Ross on. Ross?
Yeah.
Firstly, are you doing the watch along tonight or are you going to the pub to watch it?
I'm staying put. I just think if I'm in the pub tonight, I might get bored. So for any reactions, whether it's bad or good.
So you're going to be doing the watch along?
I think so, yeah. I mean, obviously, it depends if, last time we try and sync it, so we'll see if we can. Shout out to Sinky there. That's a strange one, but yeah. All right.
Come on then, Ross. What's your views?
I mean, I just keep going the fact that the last 2 times we've played Liverpool and we've beaten them. So why can't we do it? The time we beat them 1-0, Lookman, you on about Lookman earlier, we cost them the Premier League title and we just lost 6-3 2 days before to Man City. The other time we beat them 3-1 with nobody in the crowd. So why not? Why can't we beat them? Yes, it's a tough task. Of course it is. Liverpool are 6 wins in a row or something like that. But all good things come to an end. I was just putting in with your comments earlier. 7 years ago today, we were top of the Premier League, won it. 2 years ago, we won the FA Cup. Tonight's game is more important at the minute than them 2 put together. And I was just saying that someone needs to show Youri Tielemans what he did exactly 2 years ago to this day to say, look, You can play good. Just come on, do it tonight. You know, in front of a passionate Rockers crowd tonight, because obviously we always concede. But I predicted earlier we're going to win 1-0. Charlie predicted we're going to win 3-1, and just so happens they were them to predict them two scores were the same scores that we beat Liverpool in at the King Power.
So Ross, you're looking very nervous, but you are going for a Leicester win.
I'm
somehow.
bricking it. I mean, I've got my shirt my mum got me for Christmas. LCFC 1 minute. I'm putting my blue one up in a bit. I know I'm a little bit. I'm shaking a little bit, if I'm honest with you. I know it's a massive game tonight. It's huge. There's no point in putting the Sky Sports on because they'll just talk Liverpool for about 50 minutes and then realise, oh, Leicester are playing. So no point in putting that on. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. I'm bricking it. If I'm honest with you. You know, I think if we survive, we all need to take a trip to Alcudia if we survive.
Listen, Ross, I think there's every chance tonight that we can do it. For me, it's got to be Jamie Vardy tonight. It's got to be the Jamie Vardy show.
100%. You know, remember the volley? You know, we've beaten Liverpool in situations where we've been sticky situations. Not long after we sat Ranieri, we beat them 3-1. You know, where we thought we were 18th at that point. You know, I don't see why we can't beat them. You know, end of the day, they are a good side, Liverpool. We're not going to take anything away from that. Let's be positive, like Ross. Yeah, end of the day, it's a relegation. It is a relegation battle. You know, Everton beat Brighton the other day 5-1. Leeds got a draw against Newcastle. Forest beat Chelsea. So why can't we get a result against Liverpool? You know, we win tonight. You know, if we win tonight, we go out of the bottom three. I never thought I'd be celebrating going 17th. But at the end of the day, you know, they need to show some passion tonight. There's going to be 29,000 Leicester fans of 3,500 Liverpool or whatnot. We're in front of the TV cameras. So it's going to be shown all around the world as well. You know, we need to show that we want to stay in this Premier League. Because at the minute, a few pundits have said, we've all said, we don't, at the minute, as currently as it stands, we do not deserve to be in this Premier League. So we need to turn everybody's heads around and say, look, Leicester do deserve to stay in the Premier League. We've been back since 2014. Look what we've done in the 9 years that we've been back. We've just created history at moment after moment after moment. And I don't want to leave on a moment where we've been relegated. I want to leave as where we survive, whether it's next week, whether it's West Ham, whether any. But tonight, we've got 3 games, 3 lives. What's that word? 3 lives. You know, when you play a computer game, 3 lives.
It's got to start tonight. Ross, listen, thanks so much. Thanks for joining us, mate. Hopefully we'll see you on the watch along later with Michael.
Absolutely. Come on, Foxes.
All right. Cheers, Ross. See you in a bit.
Yeah.
Last words, Sam. Score prediction. Can you even give one?
No, I can't. I like I said, I'm not being too far on either left or right. I'm not saying we're going to smash it. I'm not saying we're going to get smashed. I'm just realistic. I'm in the middle. Whichever Leicester team shows up, I can give you my answer. I can give you a more definite answer an hour before the game, before when the team sheet's released. Because again, if I see some names in there I don't want to see, it all
depends on what the team sheet comes out.
They're not going to change how they play. I don't think so. Again, it's hard to say, but I'd always hope for a Leicester win, as you know, any Leicester fan would. You're never going to say you don't want them to win, but from a realistic standpoint, if looking at our form to Liverpool's form, we'd be lucky to come away with a 3-0 loss, to be honest.
Get your score predictions in. We're going to go now, so just let us know who you think will score and what the final score will be, Reedy.
2-1.
2-1 to Leicester.
Daka to score a hat-trick. Oh, sorry. No.
Daka to score a hat-trick?
No.
Reedy finishes with a classic. 2-1 to Leicester with a Daka hat-trick.
He'll score their goal as well.
Get out. All right. Listen, thanks everybody who's been watching on TikTok. We're going to let everybody go who's been on TikTok. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys later. That's the TikTok lot gone. Finish that. They've gone. So thanks everybody who's been watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. If you're down at the ground, well, we're going to be at Peter's Pizza. So if you're in there tonight, we'll be in there from about 5:45, 6 o'clock. We'll see you in there. We'll do a live from there. We're going to try and join this march, see if that does anything. And then obviously it's down to the match. And come and join us after the match outside the Blues Bar, the Fox and Saw, whatever you want to call it nowadays, to give us your views. Hopefully it's to celebrate a famous victory. So from me, Reedy, Sam, Jake, who's over there, everybody who's joined us. Just back the lads. I don't need to say that because the fans have backed the lads all the way this season. So let's just believe in the Leicester City miracle. We've seen it happen. See you in a bit.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.